Gentlemen, I'm coming. Just bear with me. Having some issues with my laptop, but we're coming. We are coming. Welcome, everyone, to our monthly virtual interactive conference. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I'm the founder, president, and CEO of the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. We host our monthly virtual interactive conference every last Saturday of the month. Join us in this virtual interactive conference. On this platform, we're genuine, sincere, transparent, and authentic. Special shout out to those who are putting their reputation on the line by being on my panel. Once I'm able to get our film project fully funded and made, and the proceeds from the film starts coming in, then I will be able to walk into my God given assignment. Through Kakai of Chicago, we will openly reward those who have kept the lines of communication open with me and those who have regularly appeared on this platform, especially those who are our international guest speakers. Give them an opportunity to come to America, specifically Chicago, Illinois, to preach or speak during our live events. Through the business, we will help pay for their travel and hotel expenses, pending on our budget and sponsorship. We will also give them a love offering for their time and talent. If you are serious about being on the panel, then please send me your email address to my backup Facebook inbox, my Instagram inbox, my TikTok inbox, or my LinkedIn inbox. Then I will email you everything that I do online and also provide times and dates that I'm available to get you on the show. Once I finish my presentation, then I will open up the show for Q&A. This is called Side B. I prefer to see you on camera first before you come on this platform to avoid trolls. This event will help expand your network, enhance your profile visibility, and make more meaningful connections with the global community. We're heading into the fourth month of 2025, and yet we still don't have any donation. It is what it is, y'all. Before I go into my presentation, I will show a few slides and explain why this film project needs to be made and why the Black world need to know our story. I'm grateful that we have 1,000 people on my backup Facebook page. We also have 500 subscribers on our YouTube page. So that's cool. I'm very happy about that. We're making, some improvements and we're making progress. So I'm not mad at that. The first slide we're gonna show. Let me see if I can pull this up. Uh, Always having issues with this thing, but that's okay. Um, shit. Not sure if it's showing. It's that article from Fortune magazine about that Zoom call. So let me see. And again, ladies and gentlemen, just bear with me. You can find all this information on my Medium transcript. You click on that in the comment section. Um, Click on that link and you scroll down to show and prove, and you'll see all of this information. So but I'm just trying to pull it up on here. So I'm trying to see, is it showing? All right, it says it's showing. So yes, that's that article, okay? And again, the reason I'm showing you this is because, you know, this is just for to prove my statements. So it says a Zoom call of 44,000 black women's raised 1.5 million for Kamala Harris in 3 hours. Quote, we were ready, unquote. So that's the 92% of the black women that likes to brag about, you know, that they're Democrats and that, they, raised that much money for a woman that was in the White House for 4 years and she didn't do anything specifically for black Americans. I need to keep showing y'all this. And here we are. We going into the fourth month of 2025, and yet we still don't have any donations on our GoFundMe page. And I'm going to show that to you. But this is the kind of foolishness that we have to deal with. I'm doing the best that I can to host my show. I host it every week. And I try to give everybody that's on my friends list an opportunity to come on this platform to promote, their businesses, their music, um, their ministry. Because I want to move. I'm not just on here trying to sell a book. The book is important. The book is the foundation of my Christian business. But I want to move beyond, you know, um, the internet. Get do this film project so that way the whole black world would know our story. And when I say our CAM members, because you all are the ones that's going to help me build this business, and you will go down in history with me and Sister Renee, and that's real. So it says that it's showing. So I don't know, sometimes the stuff is kind of tricky. So I don't know if it's really showing or not, but just bear with me. And again, I'm doing the best that I can. Okay. All right. Let me show another slide. All right. We finished with this one. The other slide I have up here that I'd like to share with you all is called The Gardener. Share screen. Okay. And so we're going to scroll down. And so what it says here, median wealth of Black Americans will fall to zero by 2053, warns new report. I predict it will be 2040. Either way it goes, that's still close, you know, about a 10-year difference or 12-year difference, but still, we predict 2040. If we don't, as Black Americans, deal with this slave mentality, separate ourselves from these off-code Negroes, and work with me in terms of building up Gurkai of Chicago to make that to turn my ideas into a reality and make our presence known in the African American community as well as in the African immigrant community. So that way we will have a chance, a better chance at surviving, because I want CAM members to become global citizens, not to just stay here in America and get caught up with American issues. I don't want to be bogged down with American issues. Over here, we want to raise the bar, we want to set the standards, and I want to make sure I get my members out of harm's way because America is going to fall and the good judgment of God is coming. And I'm going to be talking about that next month in April. And so I'm going to encourage, especially my African friends, to step up and be on the panel so we can talk about what's going to happen, especially what's going to happen with Africa. So it's very important, right? So I mentioned this, and now we're going to move to the next slide. Okay, finish with that one. The next slide is about my revised book. And so this is how my book looks on Amazon. Again, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't see what I'm showing on the screen, I recommend that you click on my Medium transcript. It's located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on it, the link, scroll down to show and prove, and then you're going to see all these different topics that I'm speaking of. So this is my author page on Amazon. And my revised book, they call it a paperback, same thing, soft cover book. That's the same thing. It's $15 plus shipping and handling, or you can purchase the ebook, which is called Kindle, for $9.99. So if you got a real good smartphone or iPhone, just download it on there and read it for yourselves. And this is how you become a GERCAM member. Buying my book, and you have to agree with the vision. So, if you disagree with the vision, then my suggestion to you is to delete me off your friends list and don't come to no events with my name on it and stand on it. Don't be wishy washy. Don't change your mind when I start making money because I know that's the American way is you only want to come around people when they become famous and successful and all that kind of stuff. I'm not on here for that. You know, if you don't like me, that's fine. But you will respect me if you want to be part of my business because my business is membership based. And I'm only responsible for GERCAM members and their families that's, it's going to be a part of this business. All right. So I showed that, and now we're going to move on to the next slide. Let me see. Uh, okay. I'm closing that. About the Guardian. Okay, let's see. Right, on final slide I'm showing is the our GoFundMe page. Trying to raise 250,000. I preferred 500,000, but this is the lowest that I can go. Doing this in order to do a Black empowerment film, but I want it to be quality. I want to make sure that when we raise this money, that I connect with a legitimate production company that's going to turn um, our film into a docudrama. I'm going to use them. Also, those of you that's I'm going to say filmmakers that's on my friends list, either Black Americans or African immigrants, make yourself known to me. This is all on business. And let's see what we can do. We want to be able to raise that 250 first and foremost. Then um, we're going to turn it into a docudrama. I'm going to reach out to first Black American production companies and see would they work with us based on our budget. If not, then I'm going to reach out to African production companies here in America and see will they work with us. If not, then I'll just reach out to a regular production company that's willing to work with us, bottom line, because this is very important. And whatever the earnings that I make from this film project, then that's going to put me in a better position financially. So that way I can hire qualified Black middle class professionals. I can hire qualified African immigrants to help me build the best African American business within the United States of America, and that is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. And that's what this film project is going to be about, turning my ideas into a reality. And those of you that have will donate to this film project will go down in history because we're gonna acknowledge, have your names mentioned in the credits. But again, 2025, my focus is on reaching out to African immigrants within the United States of America. Because unfortunately, I'm unable to reach Black Americans because of this slave mentality. And again, I'm trying to do something positive to help the Black community because this is a business that's going to materialize in the African American community. But that's fine, 33 years, though, is enough. That's why I'm saying African immigrants that work with me, you will go down in history with me and Sister Renee um, if you get behind this film project. But first and foremost, I want all of my members that's serious about being a GERCAM member to purchase the book and read my story for yourself. That's how you become a GERCAM member, ladies and gentlemen. With that being said, now I'm going to go into my presentation. And then once I am done, I'm going to turn the show over to my panelists so that way they can do their part. And from there, uh, we'll open up the phone lines for for my listeners. If you're serious about being on the show, we're gonna make that happen, right? Okay. Well, uh, now I have to find my notes, so bear with me again, ladies and gentlemen. The stuff gets kind of tricky, but it is what it is. Ain't no shame. I'm gonna make sure that I get my message out there loud and clear. This is why I write out my speeches. You know, oh boy, they're giving me a hard time. It's okay. Have your way, Lord, in this situation. Mm, I created this platform not for entertainment, but for a call of action. If you are an author, an entrepreneur, poet, or a musician, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform to promote yourselves or your music with my listeners from the global community by sending me your email address to my backup Facebook page. And like I said, um, my Instagram page, my TikTok page, even on X, as well as on LinkedIn. I've been reaching out to Black Americans, specifically Black Chicagoans, online and in real life for the past 33 years, and yet I still have little to no support, as you have seen on the screen. You know, that is still zero, no donations on our GoFundMe page, as well as even on our PayPal page. You'll see that too when you go to click on my Medium transcript. But hey, it is what it is. This year, I have decided to focus on reaching out to African immigrants within the United States of America from 10 African nations. They are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. I understand that you are here in America to live your American dream, and that's fine. Again, keep in mind, it was Black Americans, my ancestors, you know, during the civil rights era that helped and fought and died to help get you all here in this country in the first place because, after all, America was geared toward Europeans. They didn't want all these other ethnic groups here. But we fought, or my ancestors fought and died to have you all, to give you an opportunity to come here so that way we can bond together and do exactly what I'm trying to do right now. And that is to help improve the African American community and build that bridge between the African American community and the African immigrant community so that way we don't be separated. We can be unified and help improve our situation here in America. I need your help. I'm unable to reach my people, which are Black Americans, due to this slave mentality. It's a 400-year-old mentality known as Willie Lynch. That's why I'm trying to do this film, so that way the Black world can know my story up front. All I want you, all I want you to do is purchase my revised book and read my story. And my book is, quote, The Solution for Black America: Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring the Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. It's available, as I said, in two forms: as an ebook for $9.99 or as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then you are automatically become a GRCAM member. I respect your decision if you want to remain anonymous. Buying my book and reading my story is not a crime. If you want to go down in history with me and Sister Renee, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform, get on camera, and let's talk about my revised book and encourage others to support our film project. I'm still extending an olive branch to like minded Black Americans who will eventually become GRCAM members to work with us. After all, this business is for them and their families. Before I cut and run to Africa, I need GRCAM members worldwide to get behind this film project. We're trying to raise funds for our film project, quote, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago. The war against Willie Lynch begins. This is a solution-based docudrama based on my experience growing up in the inner cities of Chicago and the purpose why I created the grassroots community activist movement in the first place. This is our Black Panther moment, except it's not owned by Disney, it's owned by GRCAM members. And again, I cannot pass um, the business down to my family members because a majority of my family members are full of Willie Lynch. As I stated many times before, they tell me, "Oh, leave that GRCAM stuff alone and get a real job." That's code for work for the white man. Don't try to start up your own Black business. And that's slave mentality talk. And I don't associate with none of them at all. I keep my distance. And if I'm like that with my own family members, how you think I'm gonna be with strangers? Anybody that speak ill against what I'm trying to do will not be part of my business, point blank. I ain't having that foolishness. We are using crowdfunding such as GoFundMe and PayPal Giving Fund so that everyone will know exactly where the funds will be going. Our objective is to raise $250,000. Those donations will help with our marketing campaign, production, and legal expenses to make our docudrama. If you are a U.S. citizen, then I recommend that you use our PayPal Giving Fund page because you can use that as a tax write off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith based and community advocacy organization. We will create the best African American business within the United States, which is the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. We will compete against Pan Africanism in order to win the hearts and minds of Black Americans and Africans worldwide. Don't get me wrong, Marcus Garvey was a great leader, and I agree with what he said that Black people should leave America and reclaim our ancestral homeland, Africa. But the problem with Marcus Garvey, he never went to Africa. Instead, he went to Europe and ended up dying over there. We're not under the so called freedom flag, which is red, black, and green. He also left God out of his organization. Pan Africanism has been out for 160 years, and we as Black people are still facing the same issues our grandparents faced during the Civil Rights era. A few of my associates who relocated to Africa told me that a majority of business in Africa are owned by non Africans. So people such as Arabs, Asians, East Indians, and Europeans own and control a majority of the businesses over there. I want to establish my Christian business in America first for credibility. My business will be membership based. My revised book is the foundation of my business. Again, I provide the link to my Amazon author page in the comment section below this audio podcast. I created GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement, in 1991 on a site called Gopher to connect with like minded Black Americans, Afro Caribbeans, Afro Latinos, Afro Brazilians, Afro Caribbeans, and African immigrants to help raise awareness about the genocide which is taking place within our inner cities in America, starting in Chicago. I wanted us to make our presence known in the African American community and in the African immigrant community by building Gurkai of Chicago. And within this business, we will heal collectively from the scars of slavery and colonization. Black Americans will heal from this slave mentality imposed on our ancestors by the white supremacist financial elites. African immigrants will heal from the colonized mindset imposed on them by the white supremacist financial elites. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, and once the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I would be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, hire qualified Black middle class professionals, and qualified African immigrants. I am called by my Lord and Savior, Jesus slash Yahshua, to rebuild inner cities in America, starting in Chicago, similar to that of Nehemiah, who was called by God to rebuild the walls of Jerusalem. Nehemiah used qualified engineers, architects, and inventors to rebuild a new city. We are seeking qualified Black middle class professionals and African immigrants in the following areas: Black attorneys, African attorneys, investors, business partners, Black entrepreneurs, African entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, and philanthropists. We're also looking for legitimate artists such as film directors, producers, actors, stage managers, professional fundraisers, technical directors, and marketers from across the United States of America. Gurkai of Chicago will offer an incentive. Gurkai of Chicago will offer an interactive space for Black Americans, African immigrants, Afro Brazilians, Afro Latinos, Afro Caribbeans, all Christian denominations, Black millennials, and Generation uh, Black millennials and Generation Z. Non-Black sympathizers, depending on where they stand as it pertains to lineage-based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves. slash Freemans can join us, but they're going to have to agree with that. They disagree with that, they can be a part of us, point blank. Over here, we're M1, we're melanated first. Nothing else on earth matters to us. Our focus is on solving Black issues at the grassroots level. This is how I get down. This is all I this is all we care about, and this is what we're gonna do. That's what makes us different than these other Black organizations that's out there. Grekai of Chicago will provide quality programs and services to benefit the African American community and the African immigrant community. Our mission to eradicate urban violence in Chicago through art, culture, commerce, spiritual development, and hosting African and Caribbean tours. We will promote economic opportunities in the African American community and the African immigrant community by being an advocate and an economic base. We will offer different membership levels: basic membership, networking membership, and entrepreneur membership. My vision for Africa to reconnect with our ancestral homeland. We will go through the proper channels with each African government to start our NGO, non government organization. We will offer employment to our members based on our budget and sponsorship. We will focus on improving Africa's infrastructure for clean running water, agricultural technology to feed the people, offer solar panels to help with their electrical generators, and most of all, help improve the African economy in exchange for dual citizenship for Black Americans who are GCAM members. GCAM Chicago will promote Black economic empowerment on a domestic front and also on an international front. We will bring the best of the diaspora to each African nation so that we can set up local chapters and do international trade among our people and GCAM members. We will reconnect Black entrepreneurs with African entrepreneurs, Black artists with African artists, while promoting them within the business. Rakai of Chicago is about raising the bar in Black America. There will be protocol put in place to separate ourselves from con artists, Black boule, degenerates, Democrat shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GCAM members. Those who are not part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving. I'm only responsible for those who are GCAM members. I don't operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. Those who have rejected my vision and plan when I was small or a nobody will be, I will treat them the same way when I become successful in this business. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me. Anyone who gets under my skin, we will remain strangers for life. Again, this is how I get down. Life is too short to be going through unnecessary drama. Gurkai of Chicago will be a drama free zone. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can start building Gurkai of Chicago. I call upon Black content creators and African content creators. Allow me to come on your platform so that I can promote my revised book and my film project with your audience. Notice how Donald Trump and Elon Musk are putting their people first, but we as Black people would move if we would move like that, this would help us get things done. If we lose Africa, we lose everything. I call upon Black filmmakers and African filmmakers within the United States of America to stand up and make yourself known to me. Don't wait until I am dead. Work with me while I am alive. And that's real. I call upon Black millennials and Generation Z to read my revised book and get behind this film project. After all, this Christian business is my gift to you and your family. The sooner we get this business established in America, the sooner I can turn the business over to qualified managers who would be able to operate the business without me being present all the time. Then I can focus on expanding my business to the African continent, starting in South Africa. We will replicate Kakai of Chicago in Africa while embracing some portions of African culture. I call upon all of my international friends in my African group, Rukai of Africa. I understand that you all are living from hand to mouth due to corruption in government. You don't have to purchase my revised book at this time. What I need from you is for you to stand up and encourage your family members or friends from your African nation who reside in the U.S. to work with me and encourage them to read my story and get involved with our film project. Even if you are unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay, leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page, and share it with all of your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. I call upon my Christian friends and my Christian groups, Light of the World Inspirational Group and Christian Spoken Word Network. What I need from you all is to stand up, purchase my revised book, and read my story for yourself. If you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform, get on camera, and let's talk about it and encourage others to get involved with our film project. Even if you are unable to participate in this event, please watch the replay, leave a public comment about it on my YouTube page, and share it with all of your friends on all social media sites you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. The title of this presentation, Killing Beef, Gun Violence in the African American Community. Although this documentary is geared toward New York City, urban violence is in every inner city across America. This was done by design, as I stated in my revised book. After the civil rights era, the white supremacist financial elites took an L, and they began to divide black Americans based on social class. They allowed the black middle class professionals and upper black the upper class blacks to integrate into white na- their white suburbs, leaving our inner city residents vulnerable. We were further we further divided ourselves based on political affiliation and religion. So again, over here, we're nonpartisan, we're independent, and we ain't affiliated with anyone. I only want to associate with law-abiding citizens. Now we will offer a second chance program for street people, ex-offend um, ex-offenders for nonviolent crimes, former gang members, and homeless individuals. But bottom line, anyone that come through our doors, they will be vetted, meaning we're gonna screen them. We're gonna put everything out on the table and let them know what we're all about. Um, Everyone has to attend our mandatory orientation if they want to be a certified RCAM member. That's the whole purpose of me trying to create this business, because we want to become the heart of the African American community here in Chicago. And so we're going to have mandatory orientation. Everyone's going to have to sign and be in agreement with the community pledge, pass our criminal background check, and most of all, I want them to submit their thumbprint to be placed in our database. So that way we can weed out those that want to try to undermine us or don't mean us any good. That's what makes me different than other Black organizations that's out here. I'm not just sitting up here running off at the mouth. I want to make sure all of my members are going to succeed in their personal life goals. And I want them to help make sure that this business can be passed down to the next generation. The enemy decided to take advantage of our situation by flooding our communities with drugs, guns, and liquor stores, which I call the perfect genocide of a people. They have targeted the Black family with code words such as the war on poverty and now the war on drugs. They have destroyed many of our towns and businesses like Black Wall Street and Rosewood, for example, and many others. They use eminent domain and urban renewal, which is also known as urban gentrification, to further sabotage our community. No other group in America has been targeted like Black Americans, and yet white Americans refuse to give us our reparations that's owed to us. At this point in the game, Black America has two choices: either embrace annihilation or embrace survival. Those who become GRCAM members, we will do the best we can to help you and your family. But as I said, time and time again, without financial support from the Black grassroots and the global African family, then I'm unable to do my job. If you don't support your advocates, then you won't have any advocates. It will be business as usual in Black America for us to suffer. And that's not fair for our future generation and future children. Offer something that no Black politician has in America, and that is a solution to solve all of our social problems in America if given a chance. 33 years, Black America has taken me as a joke while our Black youth are dying in the streets. I don't want to die in America. I want CAM members worldwide to stand up and help me get my revised book on the bestsellers list so that way the Black world can take our cause serious. I want CAM members worldwide to back up our film project so that I can do my God given assignment. I want to set up local chapters across the sub Saharan Africa, God's willing. I would like to encourage our listeners to go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove to watch a video clip from ABC News entitled, quote, Chicago police release photos of suspects in Streeterville shooting that injured tourists, unquote. These types of incidents make the African immigrant community don't want to have anything to do with the African American community. And I don't blame them. You know, they already left a war torn country, some of them, that came over as refugees and all that. And then, they see in the news how Black Americans behave, all this unnecessary drama. Kids can't even walk down the street without being shot in the head or being shot down like an animal. And this is by other Black people. That's ridiculous and it's a turnoff. So yes, I understand if it's it's still bad even if they're rival gangs shooting at each other, you know. But when they're just people that don't have nothing to do with the drug game, minding their own business, trying to live life, and just somebody because they got a gun want to play God, that's not right. And so these urban terrorists is our biggest threat in the Black community. It is what it is. All I'm trying to do is recruit like minded Black Americans, like minded African immigrants who are standing on business to work with me in getting our film project fully funded and made so that together we can build Grekai of Chicago. We will focus on uniting both the African American community and the African immigrant community in order to help improve the social conditions our Black youth are facing in those environments. The sad thing about all of this is that the dope man has more support from the African American community than me. And now he is selling his street drugs laced with fentanyl, which is killing more Blacks than ever before. But again, God give us free will. Again, I don't want to be I want to say um the word I'm looking for, stagnant, bogged down, with American issues, with Black American issues and stuff like that too. Hey, again, I gotta get for credibility. We gotta get this business up and running in America first. Like I say, I want to turn it over to qualified managers and then expand it to the African continent, starting in South Africa. And I'm only going to work with Africans that want more out of life and become a GRCAM member. That's where I want to spend the rest of my life doing. I don't mind coming back to America. I must still have dual citizenship because that's what I'm applying for. I'm not going to give that up because my ancestors helped build this country. So I just, hold on to that portion so that way we can come here do some of our films. But I want to get back on that plane and go back to um, African continents and work with Africans that want more out of life. And again, I don't operate like the next black man. I have my own style. Read my story first so that way you'll know what you're getting yourself involved with. Because I'm not on here playing games. This is real for me. I would like to see gun violence eradicated starting in Chicago. The main problem I see in all of this is we have a lot of people who have these established nonprofits in the African American community, headed by so called leaders with big egos. Many of them are being funded by the white supremacist financial elites to do a to do a nothing approach. What caused criminal behavior? The lack of finances and developing a criminal mindset. Lack of skill contribute to indulging in criminal behavior like armed robbery and physical violence. In every inner city in America, you will see a church on each corner and a liquor store. Terrorists are protected and allowed to continue harming our children because they will take the focus off of those who are allowing this to happen. And that's the white supremacist financial elites. Our black politicians are in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites to advocate for all these other groups except for black people. For example, the Congressional Black Caucus. The black grassroots wants to bring like minded people together, interfaith grassroots and public sector leaders to have this conversation about urban violence in our community and how we as a collective can solve it. While these mass shootings are disturbing for those of us who live in the urban ghettos, gun violence is a part of life. Unfortunately, violence has become a part of our lives. There are a lot of people across the board who are suffering with grief and emotional trauma. I believe developing relationship with the faith community is a start, but we need resources just like every other community. Remember how the Biden Harris administration was passing out resources to people who did not even belong here on the soil. I'm talking about the illegal immigrants. And thank God that Kamala Harris lost that election because all she would have did was left those borders wide open and all those illegal immigrants was going to flood the black community. We would have to compete against those persons, for resources. And that's what I even talk about in my revised book. I predicted that was going to happen, you know? But hey, it is what it is. In Ohio, Chicago, we will offer support groups for victims of gun violence so that they can heal and have others as a support system. We aim to offer quality programs and services for our Black youth, African youth, and their families. Our objective is to break the cycle of violence for the next generation. We're going to raise the bar in Black America by becoming an economic base in the African American community and the African immigrant community. The reason why Gurkai Chicago is so important is because we want to create Black empowerment films that will promote positive stories about what we are doing to make an impact for our Black youth and African youth. If you look at what's happening in America, every conflict seems to end with violence. It's my hope that our docudrama will become a model for future Black filmmakers and future African filmmakers because stories are the backbone of our culture. Storytelling makes us human. I'm not going to talk all day. I want to bring on my panelists so that so you can hear what they have to say about this docudrama. And then after that, we'll open up the phone lines for Q&A for those of you that's listening. So with that being said, I'm ready to turn over the show to the panelists. We'll wait around. I'll wait for about a good three to 4 minutes, and if I don't hear from anyone, if I don't see anyone um, in the waiting room, then I'll do my best to open up the phone lines to have you on the show, right? And again, you all, I mean, this is a serious issue. Um, this is the hardest thing that I have ever done in my life. And I want to make sure none of my members have to endure such foolishness that I had to endure just for trying to do something positive in the African American community. And yes, this type of stuff, I understand why people become sellouts. They're like, my goodness, not too many people will go through what I've went through, but I'm doing this because this is what my creator placed in my heart and mind to do. Only thing he didn't tell me who he was going to bring to help me build this business. So, and he didn't tell me about, the resource. He tell me, and from my understanding, that from our for-profit type of business, we're going to own and control our own community grocery store, community healthcare clinic, and community housing. I'm going to be able to make money from that without, having to ask and beg for donations because everybody needs food and everybody needs shelter. So, but I can't even get that up and running because I don't have my team in place again. This is about me having like-minded people that's going to work with me. I can't do all this stuff by myself. And so I do need business partners and I do need other like-minded people. And again, if I don't have any African Americans or any African immigrants that work with me to get the thing off the ground, then bottom line, I thank God for Sister Renee. I wish the Lord would let me meet and have more people like her working with me, even though she's preferred to be behind the scenes, and I respect her wishes. She's been working with me for 13 years. She actually helped me edit my revised book. She purchased my first book. She said, "Hey, I'm willing to help you revise your book if you want to do that." And I said, "Sure." And well, since then, we've been working together, and I love her from the bottom of my heart. But I respect her wishes. She don't feel comfortable about going to Africa. So hey, I respect that. It is what it is. And like I say, I don't, know anybody in Africa personally. That's how come I'm trying to network with African immigrants. You know what I'm saying? For credibility, because I want them to come over there when we do our African tour. When I come to South Africa, I want to at least have South Africans that's here in America that's going to go there with me. So that way I can know my ways, the ins and outs. But hey, I'm doing the best that I can, and I got my stuff in writing, and that's my credibility. And I stand on that. So, but it's not about just running to Africa like that's gonna solve our problems. No, that's not gonna solve our problems because over there, um, like I say, um, for non-black or non-African foreigners, if I'm saying it the right way or something. But anyway, the non-Africans, they're the ones that own the majority of the business in Africa, and that's not right. So when we come to Africa on the real, we're gonna compete against those non-African or foreigners or non-African businesses. Yes, we're gonna compete against them, and we're gonna mobilize our people. Also, when far as I'm concerned, at this point in time, I am the business. I am the grassroots community activist movement in the flesh. And so when I come to South Africa, Gurkhan will be known as Global Kemet. Kemet means land of the blacks. And so, um, that's how I want to be referred to and all that stuff. But right now, I'm in America. Um, and, I don't live in the inner cities anymore. Not because saying that I'm better and all that stuff, but because my creator, he allowed me to advance. And so, he blessed me to go to college and everything. And so I decided to leave out of my neighborhood. And I got tired of being robbed and all that stuff I went through. However, if I didn't care about my community, I wouldn't be pushing this for the past 33 years, trying to get this thing off the ground. But it's hard to talk to our people, Black Americans, because of that slave mentality. So that's my biggest dilemma. But I'm praying that the power of God will reveal himself in my lifetime, that he will bless me to get this business up and running for his glory. Because again, I don't claim credit for the ideas in the book. Again, I even stated in the book that I just wanted to be a physician assistant. I didn't want to be no being over head over a black organization. I just wanted to be a physician assistant. I asked the Lord to bless me with a photographic memory, but placed in my heart this is what He wanted me to do, and I agreed to carry out His will. But again, He gives us free will, so people that act funny style with me when I was small, that's fine. But I don't want to see those people once I'm established because I'm not trying to impress nobody. You know, this business is about helping those that's at the bottom. Those of you that's musicians, I would say independent musicians, unknown artists, this business is for you. Make yourself known. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to do business with you. So that way, I'm just saying, once I'm more established financially, I can do things. Already paying out of pocket for this business title. Pay the city, state, and the IRS since 2010. And still the business is on first base. It's a turnoff. I don't like what I'm going through. And I'm going to keep speaking about it until, this thing materialized. That's why I created this platform. And those that want to sit up here and talk about hee hee ha ha, you're not going anywhere, Emmanuel. Problem. Those same people, I better not catch anybody that I reached out to um when I used to do street ministry. I better not see none of my family members in our mandatory orientation because if I do, I'm gonna embarrass them and they still won't be part of my business. That's just how it is. And again, just trying to get this thing up and running so I can bring it over to the African continent. And my goal is to help Africa return to her glory days. She was great before, and she's always great, but I'm just saying she's going to be even greater because now we have technology. And we're going to separate ourselves in Africa too against those that don't want to be Africans. And I want Africans not to see me as a foreigner, but I want you to see me as a displaced African. We did not ask to be enslaved. So, yes, we used the white man's language. We didn't ask for that because they took away our language and our religion and our culture and all that stuff. So, we had to create our own stuff. But here on out, um, the grassroots community activist movement We're about trying our best to do what we can to help um, raise the bar in Black America. We're standing on business. I'm only associating with law-abiding citizens. If I catch any con artists in this business, we're going to put that person on blast. And if they stole money from my business, we will take them to federal court because we can't get at them like we want to because we in the white man's country. It is what it is. In Africa, we can give them that jungle justice. But over here, we just got to play it, by ear. We got to follow the white man's laws because, hey, it's his country. Bottom line, America was built off the foundation of America's anti-black racism. That was before the U.S. Constitution was made. It is what it is. I'm not being racist. That's just a facts. My point is, I'm trying to connect with other like-minded Black Americans that want more out of life. I'm trying to connect with like-minded African immigrants that's going to work with me, so that way we could bring this business over to your African nation. That's all I'm trying to do. With that being said, thank you all for listening. And yes, I know I talk a lot and stuff. That's why I try to write my speeches and try to go on script. But if not, otherwise I'll keep on. But now I'm looking around and we're going to get people to get on this podcast if they're serious. All right, so this is going to conclude side A.